I think he would, and although he seems to go on forever, doesn't he? I mean, I'm not going to guess at his age, but he's been playing for a long, long time and seems to get no worse. But they're off now, and it was interesting to see. I think Malcolm Waldron was the captain. There's Nardiello on the ball now. He's brought it down well.
Beautiful
a good cross.
Well, a textbook play right off the way you want it. The cross, the speed of Nardiello to the corner, the cross for Jenkins, and Jenkins, his big threat, of course, is in the air. And it almost paid off with a quick goal as Washington took the opening kickoff, earned the corner. David Bradford will take the corner, and we'll see what kind of a set play they have. Will it be an in-swinger, or will they play it out and then play for the volley? Nardiello creating movement inside. It's right to the hot box, but headed clear by Carlos Alberto. Out at midfield, that's Khalil, nodding it to the right side, but taken away by Bradford. In the middle for McGill. McGill at the 35, quick punch for Mickelson. Mickelson tried to tow it on for Jenkins, but broken up by the California Surf. Van der Veen used to be with Tampa Bay and one of the better young American midfielders, along with Washington's David McGill. So we see some American influence in the game tonight at midfield. Throw in Washington. That's Hibbard for Mickelson, All-American from UCLA. Mickelson laying it on the touchline, tried to scoop it for Nardiello, but knocked out of bounds. Throw in Washington. Game underway tonight. Natural turf, and slipping and falling on that turf was Hibbard. It always takes some time to get used to the turf on the opposing ball field, but here's Hibbard skirting the left sideline, going to the corner, tries the cross, but blocked by Joe Clark, All-American from St. Louis. Hibbard almost had a beautiful give and go with Mickelson, but it's back to Hibbard. Now turns it inside. Jenkins knotted it to the turf, but the only man there was Carlos Alberto, and you can see the veteran experience taking plenty of time. Most coaches would have heart attacks to see a defender play it out, but when you have the experience of a Carlos Alberto, relax, right?
Lovely the way he shielded the ball there. He didn't have to run fast because he was holding his body between himself and Mickelson. That little shot there was the shot of a class player in action. He didn't have to hurry. He knew he couldn't get his foot through to the ball.
That's Jenkins on the far sideline, looking for help. Getting it from Peter Carr. Mickelson, but foul on the play, and that could have been a advantage call there, as Washington had good control. Nardiello rushing it to the corner, kicked away from him by Charlie Green. This from California, Anaheim Stadium, no score early in the game. This is Washington Diplomats soccer. Early, Jimmy Hill, as the Washington Diplomats are being awarded a penalty kick.
And here it comes now. Malcolm Waldron going up to score, we hope, once again.
We'll tell you just how the Diplomats earned this penalty kick. Waldron gets it, and Washington scores to take the lead 1-0 on the penalty kick by Malcolm Waldron. Waldron now with 12 goals on the season, and the boos from the crowd in Anaheim, as Alan Mayer, the goalkeeper, had no chance at all.
He does strike a beautiful ball with his interstep, doesn't he? Really fantastic strike back. Absolutely accurate, and no chance for the goalkeeper at all.
So Washington with the lead 1-0 early in the game on the penalty kick by Malcolm Waldron. And I don't know whether or not we have the play that developed the penalty against. Okay, we do not, but it was a push by the defense on a throw in from the far side, a long throw into the hot box area, a push by the defense of California against Jenkins, and Washington got the penalty kick and the lead early, 1-0. Now California really stumping. Here's a break right inside early, and score, California! Just like that, Charlie Cook.
No, the linesman has his flag up, and I think you'll find the goal might be disallowed.
Disallowed indeed.
Yes. Well, it's running. Let's have a look now. The linesman, I don't see anything wrong with that. It hasn't hit anybody's hand. The goalkeeper comes out. He gets a block to it. To me, it looks a perfectly good goal, and but the linesman was in a position to see. We can't really argue with them, but I would say the Diplomats have had the luck early on. They've been given what I might call a doubtful penalty, makes a change from recent matches, and beyond that, haven't given the goal away straight away, which they are prone to do. They did it the other night, and they nearly did it again, but the linesman saved them.
So it's
that was
no goal
offside.
California, and 1-0. Washington remains in the lead. I want to remind you that the next home game for the Washington Diplomats this coming Wednesday, back in RFK Stadium, 7:30 against Toronto. An important conference game since Toronto is in the same conference as Washington. Also, Metro Night, the first 3,000 fans receive free $1.20 Metro fare card. So big doings at RFK Stadium this coming Wednesday night. Joe Clark, the All-American from St. Louis, whose wife, incidentally, is from the Washington area, his wife Susan, and they are taking delight in a newborn, a baby girl, Kelly Elizabeth. Perhaps the in-laws watching back home to this telecast tonight in the capital area. Vander Veen for the California Surf, working through midfield, getting help in the back line from John Craven, the veteran 33-year-old defender, to Steve Sargent, who's playing against former teammates, as is Sam Oates. Both Oates and Sargent, starting tonight for California, played in Detroit last year, with many of the Diplomats have played in Detroit. Hibbert wisely widening the play on the far side. Peter Carr taking a quick look. There's Nardiello on the run. Nardiello takes it over the right shoulder like a wide receiver on a fly pattern. Now to Bradford. Quickly inside to Mickelson. Beautiful tip up over his hip. Mickelson showed some moxie on that play, Jimmy.
Yes, he did. It was quite a nice move, really, from, oh, there's the baby. There's
the
a nice baby, too.
Yes, sir, indeed. Susan and Joe Clark's little baby girl. So if the in-laws are watching back home, you got yourself a picture you'll never forget. Now California looking to get something going. This is Steve Moyers, All-American from Madison College in Virginia. Played in Baltimore. And a free kick awarded here to California. They take it quickly. This is Joe Clark. Dumps it in the hot box area. Jim Brown in a lot of traffic. Punches it loose, and then a rebound steered just over the crossbar by Khalil. Close call, Jimmy.
Yes, I think he'll be disappointed he missed the target from there. About, what, 8 yards out, and it's quite a wide goal. I know some people wonder why it is that with such a big goal they can't actually get it in, but the ball came quickly. You need to rebalance your whole body, and it's much more difficult, as you know, to do it with your feet than it is with your hands. I'm sure you do, Jim.
I do indeed. Khalil, incidentally, the young man, well, the veteran really, who missed that shot. Up until that shot had taken 6 shots on goal and scored on 5 of them. This is Joe Clark to Vander Veen at the end line. Here's the cross, high in the box, and it skies over the crossbar. That's Osama Khalil. That's Clark, the defender. Good play to Vander Veen, going to the end line. Now the cross, and Khalil again just balloons over the crossbar.
You can see how little space he had, really, to get the shot in. He had to take it first time on the fly because of the good marking of the defense, I'm pleased to say.
Foul called at midfield, and again, wait a minute, it's going to be against Washington or California. Against Washington. So California free kick. Vander Veen quickly through midfield for Khalil. Khalil looking for help, gets it from Charlie Green, a veteran Charlie Green. With the right foot, drills a shot, easy skimmer for Jim Brown. Jim Brown, goals against average coming in, 1.46. Alan Mayer, All-American from Madison College, Virginia, as his teammate Steve Moyers. Alan Mayer, the only goalkeeper in the North American Soccer League to wear a helmet. His goals against average, 1.95. Throw in California. John Craven in for Alberto. He bumps with Hibbert, and Hibbert called for the foul. It'll be free kick California. California, winners of only 3 of the last 13. There's the foul.
See Alberto using his body again. He got across the ball, so Hibbert had to foul him. He was in playing distance, and the only way to get it from him really was to foul him. He should have resisted the temptation to challenge.
Because there's no danger at that point.
No,
so.
no.
David McGill. Belfiore Here's a good run by Belfiore, overlapping, looking for the cross, dumps it wisely on the far side over the head of Jenkins, and that's really high when it goes over the head of Jenkins. Getting from help. Bumping in the hot box area. Air ball. Nardiello takes a hard knock, but McGill following up, fighting off Khalil, and Khalil wins the ball. Good move getting by Bradford. Khalil has great speed. Moving on the left flank. In the middle is Vanderveen. Vanderveen has Boyers on the right side. Couldn't get it to him. Belfiore blocked him. Now Boyers. Quick turning shot. Wide of the goal. It'll be goal kick, Washington. 1-0. Diplomats leading the Surf. This is Washington Diplomats soccer.
Business has just
early in the game. California with Moyers. Flicking it right side to Vanderveen. Lots of traffic in the middle. Centering pass deflected across the... Or no, a penalty kick. So the old equalizer, Jimmy Hill.
Well, I mean, that's totally ridiculous, isn't it? At least he must be wanting the teams to score points, because there was nothing that could remotely give give cause to a penalty being given there. I mean, we'll have that back again in a minute, I'm sure, but you'll see.
I want to see that infraction on Steve Moyers. Steve Moyers giving him a 10 for the dive, and the old even up call by the referee Ed Bellion. Here's the penalty kick. Carlos Alberto just with the side of the foot punches it into the left corner of the net, and the game tied at 1-1. So,
well, this is quite extraordinary. There's the replay of the penalty. You can see he takes it with the side of the foot there, just turning it over. You get more accuracy that way, but there's still plenty of power in that, as you can see, to beat Brown. Waldron used the instep, that's the top of the foot, and Carlos Alberto uses the side. Both of them very effective with their method, and it's 1-1.
So we're all even once again, 1-1, Washington and California. David Bradford to Ross Jenkins, and I'd love to see the forward Jenkins or Mickelson or maybe Bradford, who took a quick half volley, but the save made by Alan Mayer. 28 years old, 6 foot 185, two-time All-American at Madison College in Virginia. Quite a tennis player too is Alan Mayer. And has a hairline fracture of the jaw, too, incidentally, right now. But nonetheless, playing here tonight against the Washington Diplomats. California working the ball well until Hibbard stepped in front, took it away, but then gave it back. This is Green, near side to Vanderveen, and Vanderveen just gives it away. So lots of errors in the game so far tonight. Upcoming special promotions, July 19. Montreal in town, Safeway Soccer Ball Day. The first 3,000 youths 14 and under receive free Adidas soccer ball. Compliments of Safeway stores. Another big game too, as far as well, then Budweiser. That'll be July 25th. It'll be Budweiser baseball cap night. And here's a score by the Washington Diplomats. The Washington Diplomats, and it was Jenkins. And didn't I say, let's get a goal from a forward?
Well, there it is. It was a beautiful goal, a very well-worked move up the right wing. And you can see the cross coming over. There's the header. No doubt about it, underneath the bar. No, it's back again. It hits the bar. And Jenkins finishes it there with his left foot.
All right, goals you want to see? Goals we got. And Jenkins gets the goal. It's 2-1 now. Washington leading California. I'm looking ahead to Budweiser baseball cap night. I had the tap on the shoulder at Jimmy Hill. The heck with Budweiser cap night. We got a goal.
We are here for the game after all. We don't want to see a goal at that
here,
point.
As we almost had a close, well, we had a close call, almost a goal. It'll be corner kick, California. This is wide open, Jimmy. We better stick to the game.
Well, it's extraordinary. I mean, that was a very good move, and we do deserve to lead now. I think both penalties were nonsense, quite honestly, and neither should have been given, so it's evened it up. He's given both teams a point, and the Dips have got 2 as a result of that very, very good goal.
Corner
well
kick.
Played, Jim Brown. Came out and punched it, under pressure, got it right out over the touchline to safety. Good goalkeeping.
Throw in by California, headed high in the air by Khalil, then headed clear by Jenkins. There's a full volley shot by John Craven, and a high kick that could have been a call. It is a call right there. You could see the high kick, dangerous play. Textbook dangerous high kick, really. Not there. It comes right after this. If we have enough time. There it is.
That is dangerous play for which the penalty is an indirect free kick, not a direct free kick. And you remember for that the referee keeps his hand up. But is Mikkelsen going to score here? Is it going to be 3-1 for the Dips? Now, I'm afraid he rather wasted that chance there because there was no opportunity to beat a keeper from that angle. And you can see 2 or 3 other Diplomats got up there in the box for the cross. And a little more experience, he might have laid on the 3rd goal there rather than blasting it himself and going for a bit of glory while he's back in California.
It'll be a throw in midfield for California. Lots of action tonight. 2-1. Washington leading California. 2 penalty kicks and a good goal by Jenkins. And that's the first time in 7 games a forward has scored for the Washington Diplomats. At midfield, John Craven widens it near side for Joe Clark. Papa Joe Clark. We saw the youngster, Kelly Elizabeth, a few minutes ago. Battle for the ball, won by Vanderveen. For Moyers, the cross blocked smartly by Ivan Belfiore. It'll be a throw-in, California. Vanderveen in for Clark. Crisscrossing and losing it out of bounds. California throw in Washington. David McGill throws it too far ahead of Hebard. And Alberto, well, wait a minute, they're going to do it again.
He took the throw not from where the ball went out, so the linesman said it has to be taken from a yard or 2 back.
Well, thank you very much, since he had thrown it away the first time. You can bet he doesn't throw it away this time, Jimmy.
He'll try not to. Oh, back to Jim Brown. I must say, actually, for a team that has been struggling recently, as the Diplomats had, and haven't had the run of the ball, some of their approach play tonight has been really cool and really good. I'm very impressed with it because I thought their confidence might be at low ebb, but they've started playing good soccer.
California struggling as well as Washington, and both teams coming out to play soccer tonight and to get the goals to win. Here's the cross. Far side for Clark. Clark half volley and skies it over the crossbar. It'll be goal kick, Washington. 2-1. The Diplomats leading the Surf. This is Washington Diplomats soccer. 2-1. Washington leading California. But the Surf keep coming back. Just moments ago, a close call as Sam Oates let the ball go behind him smartly, but really faked out his own player. And California with Vanderwee playing it for Clark. A long cross will go awry and out of bounds on the far side. We should mention that Benny Dargo missing his first game. I had it up today, Jimmy Hill. I think he had played in 88 consecutive games, both outdoor and indoor. And this is the first time in 88 games that Benny Dargo is not playing. He has a pulled stomach muscle.
Yeah, the other evening, I must say, at Portland, he was absolutely outstanding. We couldn't hold Ali Brown. Peter Carr was having trouble holding him, and in the second half, he went and blocked him straight out. Referee given offside there. Nardiello got a bit too far forward at the moment the ball was passed. He got beyond the last defender, and so the linesman had his flag up for offside.
Well, we're in that area right now, Jimmy Hill, looking at the goal area where the Washington Diplomats got a penalty kick and beat Alan Mayer, the goalkeeper we see right now. The infraction, we did not get a look at it. As you saw it, why the penalty kick?
I don't think it should have been a penalty because I think the defender, whoever he was, challenged Ross Jenkins quite fairly. But there you are. Ross is a very tall player. He's difficult to deal with, and he can panic people into just giving a gentle push. And the referee saw that and gave the penalty. But is this going to be 2-2?
Steve Moyers, dangerous, but a handball on Khalil. The referee did call it and says free kick, Washington. You can see the ball roll up the hip. Watch it now. It's always a question. Did the ball play the man, though?
Well, difficult ball to control. It was driven at him firmly, took it down, and there's the hand to try and knock. He was trying to control it with everything, actually. Chest, thigh, hand, and his head. But he looks quite a player to me. I shouldn't be surprised if he doesn't cause trouble before the evening's out.
Well, he's caused trouble recent games. Osama Khalil from Egypt, hoping to make a name for himself in the North American Soccer League. Injured player on the field, Steve Sargent. And I wonder if a former teammate got Steve Sargent.
I wouldn't think that. Looking at Stevie there, it's the first time I've seen him since Detroit days. Of course, we purchased him from Everton for $50,000, Stevie. He's had a good career in the English First Division, and I'm pleased to see he's still going. He's a tough one, though. He's not going to get killed by that. There it is, it's Ollie Nicholson, just a little elbow into the side, and down goes Steve, but he's as right as rain now.
Steve has thrown more elbows than he'll ever take, believe me. He can play the rest of his career without throwing an elbow and still come out ahead.
Yes.
Looking at Charlie Green a moment ago, right there, number 12, Charlie Green, and you mentioned what a great career he had in England.
Nardiello's use of the hand there just to push the player off. You're not allowed to do that. You've got to keep your hands down by your side. No, he's not given a penalty. He's set a dive. You see, it must be frightening, actually, to be a defender. There's group sales and season tickets. Call 544 kick, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. How about that?
You did that very well, Jimmy.
Last time I did that, we got to go.
Well, when you read, I'll watch the play. When I read, you watch the play.
544 kick.
Goal kick coming up for Washington. Diplomats leading 2-1. Waldron a penalty kick. Then Carlos Alberto tied it for California on a penalty kick. So we started from scratch again, all even, 1-1, but then Jenkins, a beautiful rebound, half volley shot, and Jenkins scoring at 14-18 to give Washington the lead, 2-1. Jenkins with his 6th goal of the season, and I'd love to see him get a hot, well, you can't say a hot hand, a hot foot, because the Washington Diplomats really got to get going now, Jimmy Hill, to get momentum going for the playoffs. The winners have only 2 of their last 10 and only 3 points ahead of Montreal.
Yes, it's interesting with Ross Jenkins because he is a player who's played in the English First Division and Second Division, and he has got a goal-scoring record. He is a prolific scorer throughout his career, and he's just hit one of those patches recently, which I know has worried him. He tries very hard. He's a good team man. He lays them on for other people, but he hasn't been able to get that one goal himself. Is that it? Oh, right into Jimmy Brown's hand. Thank goodness for that. That's Oates there. Graham Oates with his head. Sam Oates.
And California coming right back. This is Charlie Cook in the middle looking for Khalil. Broken up nicely. Now again, Vanderveen just scuffing the ball for Khalil. Khalil tried to tip it into the hot box area, but it's across the end line. It'll be goal kick Washington. The fans, and I thought too, perhaps a corner kick was in order, but the referee says goal kick. I had to look for a moment that defender. I'm looking for Benny Dargle. He's not playing. Heinz Wirtz is playing a defender tonight.
Yes, he's playing sweeper. Actually, that was his position in Germany. He's quite used to it. First time cross from Bradford, but
Nardiello with a drive just over the crossbar. Boy, Mickelson teed it up perfectly for Nardiello.
Yes, he did.
And Nardiello got all of it.
There was the challenge, you see, but he was running out, so it wasn't an easy shot. He was running out to shoot to his left, running to his right, and in doing that, just got that little bit of extra height.
Goal kick, California, and the midfield controlled by David Bradford. Dumps it for Jenkins, broken up by Carlos Alberto, who waits then on the wings. Taken away by Nardiello, 3-on-2, Washington. Nardiello tried to skim it to the hot box, but knocked across the end line. Corner kick, Washington. Well, this is quite a treat for soccer fans back in the nation's capital. Jimmy, a good Saturday night viewing on Channel 5, and
a 2-1 lead.
Mighty happy to have you along, and winning, yes. Here's a chip far side. Jenkins up in the air, but pushed just a bit by Moyers. Steve Moyers in the corner. How do you get around a man? Well, you can't. So you just tip it out, and they're going to give it to Washington. Clearly California's ball, but the referee says go ahead, Diplomats, and the Diplomats do. This is Hibbert turning a Skinner toward the goal mouth, and Alan Mayer has it off easily. Vanderveen dribbling to midfield. Overlapping defender is Joe Clark. Clark on a run. Chips it right to the feet of David McGill. Midfield for Jenkins. Jenkins with the go-ahead goal. It's 2-1 Washington. Or Mickelson, who just watches Alberto head the ball into the center. And the California Surf with Steve Sargent. Hale and Hardy once again playing at midfield, then losing it out of bounds. Lots of errors in the game, Jimmy.
Yes, but don't want to see
Mickelson.
one now.
Mickelson,
Oh!
good shot. Oh, and a great save by Alan Mayer. Mickelson's best weapon is his right foot, and we saw it there, Jimmy.
He just can't get a goal either. He's been very near, had a couple kicked off the line recently. He missed an open goal in the match at Portland, really, which, no, it was the Seattle one, wasn't it, when he was right the way through in the second half where he may have scored. And that was a very good save. No blame to him for that. Fine save by goalkeeper Meyer.
Bradford to Peter Carr. Peter Carr scoops it to the hot box. Mickelson tries to flick it toward the goal mouth. Alberto. Belfiore on a run. Better look for help or he's in trouble. Stumbles and falls and taken away by Steve Moyers. California turns it back to the goalkeeper, and they'll work it out the left flank. California having trouble working out of their own end. Peter Wall started the season as head coach of California, and he resigned that duty about a month into the season. Here's a high cross by Moyers, knocked out across the end line by Peter Carr. Corner kick, California. Laurie Calloway now coaching the California Surf. The Surf 8-13 on the season. Vanderveen with an in-swinger, dangerous at the hot box, still up for grabs. Then cleared out of danger. California. A whistle, and we may have
Free kick to the Surf.
free kick to the Surf. California dumps it right to the hot box area. High in the air was Jenkins, headed it clear, and Hibbert on a run. Hibbert has great speed. Hibbert pushed off the ball by Moyers. The referee is going to say, no, can't do that, Charlie Green.
Only just a foul, that one. He was having trouble with his speed, so he thought, I can't get him one way, so I'll get him the other. And when he stopped the ball, he kept going.
David McGill. Wide on the left side to Hibbert. Well, everybody in position in the center looking for the cross by Hibbert. Here it comes. Beautiful cross right at the corner of the far post, and Jenkins couldn't turn it in. Boy, that's where you want that cross, though. Any winger will tell you, wait for me at the far post, the ball will be there, right?
Yeah, it was a beautiful cross of his left foot, Trevor Hibbert. He started so well for us, and he's just lost a little bit of confidence recently in his game. Not been doing the same things, but that sort of cross, as you say, any forward would love to receive. Gift goals if you're there.
Yes. All right, Bradford quickly for Mickelson. Toes it right side for Nardiello. Drops it now. This is Jenkins going to the corner. Jenkins looking for a cross, blocked across the end line by Alberto. So corner kick, Washington.
I like that move there. You could see the way they were making the game simple by making the ball do the work, playing it to each other, running well off the ball when they weren't in possession, and they carved straight through the defense. Football at its best. Very good to see.
Well, let's see what develops on the corner kick. Bradford with an outswinger right to Mickelson. Mickelson flicks it over the crossbar, but Mickelson's getting into the play well tonight. Individual ticket sales. You can call Sports Charge at 350-2100. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come on out with the family and see Johan Cruyff in action this coming Wednesday night. So if you want to assure yourself of tickets for this Wednesday night's game at RFK Stadium against Toronto, and a premise start by Jimmy Hill from Johan Cruyff. Throw in midfield, Washington. 2-1, the Diplomats leading the serve. Beautiful evening for soccer in Southern California. Anaheim Stadium. Been a long time since baseball lines were down in this ballpark. I thought for sure that we'd hear of a settlement today, but apparently negotiations broken off once again. Oh, look at this. David Bradford almost stepped in front of Charlie Green and said, "Thank you very much, Alan Mayer," but out of bounds on the far side. Throw in Washington. Nardiello won the ball away, gave it to Peter Carr. Long ball upfield for Mickelson. Mickelson fights off a stumbling Carlos Alberto. Here's Mickelson. Dangerous cross. Looking for a rebound, but Hibbert just had gone in a little too deep. Back at midfield, Steve Moyers on a quick counter for the California Surf. Not as quick as it should have been, maybe. Looking for help. Gets it from Khalil. Khalil has Joe Clark on the right side. Tried to place the ball, and Heinz Wirtz steps right in front. Takes it away and dumps it upfield for Jenkins. Jenkins couldn't quite control, and it's back to the California Surf.
Best bit of play I've seen from Mickelson there. First class. He turned his man on the line, shrugged him off, and came in, and that was a really dangerous cross. With a bit of luck, it could have broken to one of our players following up off the goalkeeper's hands. But that's one of the techniques of being a striker that's not easy to acquire. Hard position to play, and he's doing very well with the experience he's had.
John Craven, 33-year-old veteran, to another veteran, Charlie Cook. This is Charlie Cook working with Van der Veen. Van der Veen with the shot, just wide on the far post. It'll be goal kick, Washington.
You'll notice Jim Brown there pointing out that the player, Khalil, I think it is, was in an offside position, but he was trying to remind the linesman just in case the ball went in the net.
Well,
Doesn't
the
matter
linesman
now.
had the flag up too, Jimmy.
Yeah,
so
he did.
It was called. Low line drive, goal kick by Jimmy Brown, and he'll get it back. Rolls it to Heinz Wirtz. Nardiello almost had the ball taken away, so to retain control, played it back to Wirtz, now gives it to Carr.
I don't think that was a foul. He tried to turn him again there as the ball came. Didn't do it very well. I thought Ollie fouled, but we've got it, so I'm not grumbling. You can see that he was never first to the ball. If we can see on the edge of the screen, there it is. He was actually beaten to the ball. You see, he was waiting for it to come to him. But we're lucky for the Dips to get the free kick, maybe a goal out of it. No, he's given pushing to even it up at the end of the day.
Well, we should mention, too, missing another veteran defender tonight, Eddie Colhoun, who is not with us on this West Coast road trip.
No, Eddie's at home personally supervising the, what should we call it, the recuperation of Johan. He's with him almost every minute of the day, making sure he gets all the medical attention and also just enough fitness training so that he'll be sharp for next Wednesday night. And we thought that was a much more useful job than sitting here like you and I shivering, hoping we're going to win.
Jenkins to the corner, skims across, blocked by Carlos Alberto. To Khalil. Khalil turned with it, but missed as he tried to deflect it off his chest, and Bradford breaks it back for Washington. In a lot of traffic. Every man marked closely, and they play it back to the goalkeeper, Alan Mayer.
When I said shivering, Jim, I didn't mean that literally. As you know, it's 80 degrees here in California, beautiful
lovely.
sunshine, and we've no complaints about the weather. Hope it's as good in Washington.
You had a memorable drive down the coast, the famous Big Sur drive.
I saw I went into San Francisco over the Golden Gate Bridge and found that quite breathtaking. First time in my life I'd seen it, and that drive around the coast is also breathtaking, superlative. There aren't really words that can describe it.
Yellow card to Mickelson. Mickelson, rather, according to the referee, Ed Bellion, an ungentlemanly foul and a yellow card to Mickelson. So he'll have to watch his behavior now. Mickelson will.
There we are. What's going on there? I don't think he's fouled yet. He didn't even foul, never mind give a yellow card away.
I think a little shove on the back.
But that's not a yellow card offence. I mean, pushing and shoving goes on all the while. I mean, the yellow card should be reserved. Did he? But the yellow card should be reserved, really, in this game, Jim, for, you know, for when someone is injuring an opponent or doing something that is really unsporting. The game is not a vicious game, and those pushes and shoves are very much part of it anyway. You can't just leave the other fellow there on the ball, and occasionally you do put your arm out too far, but the laws of the game are written to provide for that. That's a foul, a free kick, and that's what the referees give. But when they litter yellow cards about all over the place too much, I don't know. I think it's a bad thing for the game because there's no malice. There was no malice there.
Well, they say in any sport there's only two reasons for a penalty, and one is to protect from injury, and the other is to enhance the game for the spectators.
Yeah.
Good tackling by Wirtz, an elite pass for David Bradford, who kind of had his eye on the linesman to see whether or not he was going to call the offside.
And he's given a yellow card there.
And another yellow card coming up back at midfield.
I think that's John Craven. John Craven's the one, ex-Coventry player. I know him only too well. And he's a player who doesn't like to lose, and he's a tough and he's a robust player. And I don't think you've got a shot at that, but there's no question about it. That was an occasion. Let's have a look, but I think you guarantee that... no, I don't think that's actually the moment.
That's where Jenkins did get injured.
No, that's where Malcolm... Oh, it's Jenkins, yeah, that's where Jenkins actually won the ball, but I don't think...
He got a foot on the side of the ankle, I believe. That's what John Lally is attending to right now. Well, Kemp, get your kicks. If you want to learn soccer from the best in the business, learn from the pros, your diplomats. For further information, call 544-KICK. Camp's coming up, as you see on your screen, at RFK Stadium, and that's pretty soon, next week. 21st through the 24th, then early August at Walter Johnson High School. And then mid-August at RFK Stadium. Dangerous here as Mickelson was kept right by Alan Mayer, the goalkeeper, on a beautiful cross. But the goalkeeper's going to win those 90% of the time. California looking to counter. It's been Washington in good control so far. Charlie Green, a run on the left side for the California Surf. Look in the middle. There's Moyers wide open. Moyers, blocked nicely by Belfiore. I think it might have been a shot rather than a pass across, but Moyers was there, and so was Belfiore, and so was Jim Brown there. Great punch save by Jim Brown. California picking up the attack. Charlie Cook looking for help as Van der Veen tries to settle it down. Gives it to the right man to do that. Carlos Alberto, who goes for the quick break, but Belfiore over the head kick knocks it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the California Surf. 2-1. Washington leading California. Joe Clark near sideline for Charlie Cook. Here's a long cross to the far post. Jim Brown out of position. Dangerous, and Brown recovers in time. And really, we had too many cooks in the kitchen that time, Jimmy.
It was a good job Jim was there. You see him running back for that first cross. He didn't get it, actually. The forward got it. He missed it. But came back again to rectify the mistake and did it second time. But it's unusual to see him missing a cross like that, but it was such a good long cross, it really had him stretching.
2-1, Washington leading California. This is Washington Diplomat Soccer. 2-1, Washington leading the California Surf. The goals, Waldron and Jenkins for Washington. Carlos Alberto for the California Surf. The same Carlos Alberto of Cosmos fame. Washington has really controlled the play to the delight of the fans back home, I'm sure, and to Jimmy Hill sitting in the booth tonight after watching a disappointing outcome in Portland the other night. David Bradford. Good centering for Nardiello. Nardiello just got under a bit too much. A lot of times when you tee it up and you get more time than you realize, and then that happens almost every time.
Don is a very exciting player to watch, as I'm sure you all realize. He's a great runner with the ball. He can take players on. He puts fear into defenders because of his pace. He works very hard, but if he has a weakness, he gets excited when he's shooting, and you saw it there. Scooped it up over the top. It is the most difficult of all skills, shooting. There's no question about it. I don't know whether it's the excitement or what it is, but players who can pass the ball 60 yards on a sixpence, you know, or on a quarter, should I say, when it comes to shooting, suddenly become inaccurate. And there was an example there. There it is now. You see, it was set up for him. Oh, no, that's not the...
it's coming back to him now, I believe. Or is that...
We've got a little tussle going on there. Whoops-a-daisy. That was what you might call
that's a foul. Yeah,
yes.
McGill was fouled. I thought we were going to see the shot by Nardiello. Are you of the belief, Jimmy Hill, as many people contend, that prolific goal scorers are born and you cannot learn that skill?
I think there are some players who have an instinct for being in the right place at the right time, and they're good goal scorers for that reason. I bet there are others, like the great player Bobby Charlton, who was an outstanding goal scorer because he had such a powerful kick for a forward, and he could score goals from 30 yards. He didn't have to get close. So that's another reason, and of course, I suppose, you know, God gave him the power to kick that way, so he was born with it. Malcolm Waldron, of course, is another player who, although he's slender, he's gazelle-like, you might say, has tremendous kicking power. You know, you don't have to have huge muscles to get power into a shot.
Beautiful defensive move right there by Waldron. Talking about Waldron as he out-jumped Sam Oates and cleared it away from him. Well, you mentioned Bobby Charlton. Was he the greatest goal scorer?
No, there was one, well, in the English League called Jimmy Greaves in recent years, who was like an electric eel. He was a different kind of player from Charlton, but he would just wriggle through and accelerate faster and faster and faster and somehow keep the ball tied to his feet. And such a neat finisher. It'd be in the net before the goalkeeper could move. Don't know a counterpart really like that playing in the NSL. If there is, I haven't seen one yet.
Well, we're at a critical point in this game. We're coming to a minute left in the first half, and there's a foul.
Now that is a yellow card offence, I think. He knew he was beaten there, and I'm sure he's going to get one.
Yes,
there's the referee. Yeah, he knew he was beaten in that position, and so the only thing he could do was really haul the player down. There you are, bump, straight for the back of his legs. You see, now that does hurt, and it is dangerous, and players shouldn't do it, whichever colour shirts they're wearing.
That was Stevie Sargent that got the yellow card. Mentioned we're coming to a minute left in the first half of play, and it's always the nail-biting time for coaches. Never allow a goal to be scored on you in the first minute or the last minute of a period or a half. So let's see how the Washington Diplomats can adhere to that rule of thumb, or toe, as the case may be, since this is soccer. Just clearing it upfield. Washington just keeping it out of their own end. It'll be goal kick, California. Stevie Sargent places it quickly, knowing that time is running out, down to 40 seconds in the first half of play. 2-1. Quick through ball, and dangerous. Coming out is Jim Brown. A brave save by Jim Brown. As moving right in was Sam Oates across the touchline. Throw in quickly, California. Charlie Cook just puts it up for grabs in the hot box area. Jim Brown again bravely comes out and punches it to midfield. Willie Mickelson is there to Nardiello. Nardiello gave it to the backside of Nicholson. And it's back to California. But McGill steps in front of Van der Veen. Van der Veen has it back. Now Nardiello with about a 7-iron. Shanked it out of bounds. It'll be throw in as time runs out. The end of the first half of play with the score. Washington.
The oven. Not yet, anyway.
that can change in a hurry, but hopefully not tonight. Center half kick taken by California. The game underway once again. Second half begins 2-1. Washington leading the California Surf. Second half, the white-shirted Surf will be moving from our right to left, and Jim Brown grabs one away from Khalil, runs right into Steve Moyers, but no harm done as Jim Brown stands tall by the net.
He actually dropped it. He wouldn't be pleased with that. You see, as it comes over, fielded it, came down, look, hit his elbow, and for a moment he'd lost control, but he's got it back there finally. A double save, but you should always keep alert in case the first one doesn't come off, to react quickly and make the second part of the save, which he did there.
That play looked dangerous, but it was offside, but still, Belfiore, well, maybe he did hear the whistle, but golly, even if you hear a whistle or see a flag, you can't stop, right, Jimmy? You gotta play on.
Play on until you're absolutely certain. And the referee's now having a discussion with Jim Brown. I hope he can understand him, because Jim's got a very broad Scottish accent.
Doesn't he, though?
Yeah. I have trouble sometimes.
I think Englishmen have more trouble understanding Scotsmen and Irishmen than Americans do. You know
Probably right, yes.
Midfield, the Washington Diplomats going on the attack. They control the first half and lead the ball game 2-1. This is Sam Oates, who I believe now has been dropped back to a defensive role. Jimmy, we'll see what of the changes may have been made. There's a foul. It'll be free kick, California. Laurie Calloway, I think, has moved Sam Oates back to a more defensive position.
He tried to get to the ball there, didn't, and brought the player down. The referee wouldn't have given a yellow card there, because he would have judged that the player did attempt to go for the ball, not for the man.
Carlos Alberto chips it to the hot box, and Moyers heads the ball to the far post. Diving save by Jim Brown. Well, you can see the skill of a Carlos Alberto. Look at it.
That's what, it's a lovely curving kick, but that should have been headed. You can see the two defenders both went for it and mistimed it, and I'm afraid that is one of the Dip's weaknesses. I'm afraid we do give goals away by not concentrating on where the ball is coming to and making sure we get on the end of it. There were two of them there that threw themselves in underneath the flight of the ball, and that's bad judgment, and that's why the chance came.
Charlie Cook will be throwing it in for the California Surf to Vanderveen. Back to Cook. Cook cuts it to the hot box area. Drive, and a save by Jim Brown. Oh, close call.
And once again, that was very, very bad marking. Charlie Cook used to play for Chelsea in London, steered that ball across the box there. And you can see that Don Nardiello, who had come back into a defensive role, was the wrong side of his opponent. You've got to be between the opponent and the goal. You can't leave them loose so close to goal. We're very lucky, the Diplomats, there to get away with that. That was another bit of poor finishing, and the Surf will be disappointed with it.
Into Khalil, play offside. The referee standing right there. It'll be free kick, Washington. But California creating dangerous situations early in the second half. Vanderveen to Sam Oates. Oates turns it to the middle. That's Alberto. Alberto cuffs it upfield for Khalil. Khalil couldn't quite control. Tramps it to the right side, looking for a cross. Peter Carr marking. And beats him. Here's the cross right to the hot box and headed over the crossbar by Steve Moyers. But there's three great opportunities in a row from California.
Well, Jim, we said we hope this didn't happen. We do seem to sit back just that little bit. After half-time, we've got a lead, and we started the game going into their penalty area and forcing the play around their goal, and now we're sitting back on our haunches a little bit and letting them take the initiative. And we're not a good side when we do that. You can see there, we've let them create 3 chances very quickly, and I'd much rather see us push men up and go for that other goal, and keep the Surf at bay that way, because I don't think we're tight enough defensively. I don't think our marking is good enough generally to hold on to a lot of pressure and not give a goal away. So it would seem to me the tactics are keep it away from your own goal.
Yes, the best defense is offense. Yeah. California again. Moving on the right side, now back to Carlos Alberto, and seldom making a mistake. Look at the placement, but just not able to beat Belfiore on that one, who got up high enough. Now to Ole Mikkelsen. Mickelson rides off a hard bump from behind. Nice turn to the middle for Hebert. Now running up on the ball, Peter Carr to Dunn Nardiello. Nardiello looking once, then lost it out of bounds. They say off California. Throw in Washington. Next home game this coming Wednesday. And Johan Cruyff will be starting for the Washington Diplomats against Toronto this coming Wednesday. 7:30 game time. Important conference game, too. Also, Metro Night. The first 3,000 fans receive free $1.20 Metro fare card.
You can get this Xerox.
Mickelson couldn't unload the booming shot. Had it on the right foot, too.
The hardest skill in the game.
Running on with the ball, yes.
You can see he didn't look at the ball closely enough when he was kicking it there. You can see he never got the meat of his boot to the ball at all. Just gave it a little scratch. It's easy enough to say and sit here and do that because he did very well. He's pacier than John Craven. John's been playing a few years now and never was a fast player. So he made the opportunity well, but go on, make sure you give it a good strike. You don't have to look up in that position. Just like with a golf ball, you just need to make sure you strike it well.
Jenkins nutted the ball to the hot box area wide of the goal. Alan Mayer rose it to who else but Carlos Alberto. Now Sam Oates, who is back in a midfield position now for California. Charlie Green on the left wing. For Khalil, beautiful 1-2, but Peter Carr, there's experience. There's experience, Jimmy.
Yep. Peter's got had so many stitches this year in his head. He must look like a nasty turn there. I don't know what happened.
May have been caught right at the edge of
he seemed to. I think he turned his ankle on the on that sandy surface. Yes, Jenkins. Maybe it was the same ankle he got the kick on in the first half, but
California attacking in the Washington end. Charlie Cook wide on the near side. Looking for the cross, brings it high on top. Van der Veen trying the 1-2 again. Now the over the head kick and a one bouncer to Jim Brown.
Yes, first of all it was Stefan Hagen put 4 stitches, or the doctor put the stitches in, but Stefan Hagen put the cut in. And then who was he? He had 5, I think, 5 or 6 the other night on the top part of his head. So it looked like the front of a shoe. But he's got a nice smile, lovely white teeth. You see, you don't notice the stitches when you look at his face, Peter Carr.
You don't notice them at all when you win either. And hopefully they'll return home after this long road trip and everybody be smiling. But anxious moments here in this second half. California has taken it away from Washington so far in this second half. Belfiore trying to clear to midfield across the touchline, throw in Cerf. Well, California, one of the hotbeds of amateur soccer. A lot of youngsters playing soccer out here in California. Here's a good run through midfield by Bradford. Beautiful ball for Nardiello. Nardiello on the right foot, sends it in the middle, but just too far ahead of Mickelson. Oh, what an opportunity. 2-1, Washington leading California. This is Washington Diplomats soccer.
Itching.
We welcome you back with Washington holding a 3-1 lead. Washington scoring just moments after we took the commercial break. Jimmy Hill, you almost jumped out of the booth when it happened. And we'll show it to you in just a moment how the Washington Diplomats took a 2-goal lead. Now leading 3-1, but now Khalil for the California Surf getting a bit too fancy inside, and Washington breaks it to center. This is Bradford. His right wing pass knocked down by Steve Sargent. Dumped to the right corner, too far ahead for Khalil. That's Peter Carr for Belfiore. Knocked it across the touchline. Here it comes, Jimmy.
Well, there it is now. That's Trevor Hebard going in there, and just look at this final strike. Beats his man, knows that he can shoot in that far corner of the net, and what does he do? He puts it just beautifully and perfectly up in the top corner of the net. And that was calculated, just back in live here, but that ball went over the bar, as you've seen. But the good thing about the 3-1 scoreline, not only that Diplomats are winning, but two players who've been lacking in confidence recently because they haven't scored, Trevor Hebard and Ross Jenkins, are on the score sheet. Now, that's very good news for next Wednesday night and the time after.
And neither one a garbage goal, Jimmy.
No, two first-class goals.
Corner kick, California. Washington leading 3-1. Low corner, right to the feet of Belfiore, who turns it to midfield and out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the California Surf. So California, and how many times has this worked exactly the opposite way, where Washington has the momentum, is pounding and pounding and pounding, and then the quick mistake in the other end. But this time Washington capitalizes, and it's 3-1 Diplomats.
Well, I did say, Jim, that I was happier seeing them up the other end of the field, and almost from that moment they regained the initiative again. And I think goals can be scored against the Surf. They do look a side that maybe can get demoralized. I hope so.
Hebard made 3 good plays. Subs for the California Surf. This is Craig Allen.
Craig Allen, yeah.
Coming in for the Surf. I'm not sure who has left, but Craig Allen is in now for the Surf. But Hebard made 3 great plays. First of all, intercepting the pass, up with a header, knocked it to the feet. He beat the one defender, and then just really threaded the needle upper right-hand corner. That's the new man, Craig Allen. Allen, well, he's trying to be a hero right off. And not a bad selection of a shot. You can score from that far out.
Oh, you can if you hit it well enough. We've now thrown the ball away 3 times running when we've been in clear possession. Why, when we're 3-1 up, I just don't know. Because it's no time to panic. We should be controlling it now. And I think when Johan's there, you'll see that kind of influence exercised. It won't be thrown away under those circumstances.
July 19th, with Montreal coming in to RFK Stadium at Safeway Soccer Ball night. The first 3,000 youngsters, 14 and under, receive free Adidas soccer balls, compliments of Safeway stores. Looking for a corner kick from the California Surf. Then Budweiser cap night. Last time that came up, we had a penalty kick coming up, but not this time, as Jim Brown grabs it off clean. All righty, the first 5,000 adults 18 and over on July 25th against Minnesota. Budweiser baseball cap night. The first 5,000 adults 18 and over receive free baseball caps, compliments of Budweiser. Jenkins! Oh, a turning shot just wide of the post. But again, now you can see the confidence is there, Jimmy.
Yes, it is. And also, I was pleased to see Belfiore there cross with his left foot. It's his natural foot. So often he turns it back onto the right and chips it in. But he hit it early and picked out Jenkins. Good skill off the chest. Popped it up for himself. Not his natural foot, his left foot. And it wasn't a bad attempt, but it would have been so much better if it whistled into the corner.
It was offside anyway, Jimmy.
What, after that reprise?
Nevertheless, confidence is there. You can see it. Ball up for grabs, won by Khalil. His pass deflected, and Belfiore turns it back for Jim Brown. 3-1, Washington leading the California Surf. Jim Brown playing the role of Eddie Colhoun right now. You can see him directing traffic and barking the orders. Oh, look at that. He really put that one in orbit. Thinking of Atlanta when he scored. One bouncer into the net. Look out, free ball here. And just cleared away on the nick of time by the defense. Now Carlos Alberto. Carlos Alberto plays a back defender type role that made popular by, who am I thinking of? Played with the Cosmos and went back to Germany.
Oh, Beckenbauer. Franz Beckenbauer,
yes, yes.
I was just watching Ivan Belfiore there when I said it wasn't his right foot wasn't his natural foot. He was just lacked confidence in pushing that ball to Jim Brown and gave away the corner, which is coming up now.
Outswinger. And Khalil just missed on it, whatever he was attempting to do. Collision by Wirtz and Charlie Cook. It'll be goal kick Washington, 3-1. The Diplomats leading the California Surf. This is Washington Diplomats soccer. Three to 1, Washington leading, and almost 4-1. Mickelson with that right foot, and what a save by Alan Mayer. But it's so nice to see the confidence swelling back, Jimmy.
Yes, it was, and that one he really did strike well. There it is. Look at that, on the near post, and Mayer took off, caught it cleanly with both hands, but that was a much better strike. There's nothing like scoring goals and having a lead to give players confidence in those circumstances. Trevor Hebbert was annoyed with himself there for that pass, but it turned out to be a good one for Bradford, although he now lost it.
California trying to work out of their own end. Left flank, Steve Sargent. Now for Craig Allen. Beautiful wide field pass. I love those weak side passes, really. And it comes right back to Allen. Allen, the late sub in the second half for the California Surf. Allen crisscrossing with Khalil. Khalil just gave it away, dumped it on the left flank. And now Washington gives it back. Vanderveen wide open in the right side is Sam Oates. Oates chips it in the middle and knocked across the end line by Jenkins. Jenkins just clearing it away from danger.
He does work hard, Jim. That's why I think other players and the coach will forgive him not scoring, because he's a good player to play with. There he was back in his own area. He miscued it slightly, but he was there to intercept the ball.
Oh,
against the post.
Off the post.
Off the post.
Well, that was a beautiful in-swinger on the corner and right to the near post, and the header turned off the post. So Washington fortunate to retain their 2-goal lead, leading 3-1.
There it is, a near post corner from Charlie Cook, curling in there. The ball was missed by the crossbar, just on the crossbar. I thought it was just on the angle there, Jim, where it meets, and it looks as if it's our night when things like that happen, because the ball bounced down to one of our players against Trevor Hebbert's header, which bounced straight down to Ross Jenkins. So those things can go for you or against. The thing to do is to ignore them, keep playing, keep fighting, keep battling until you've got more goals on the other side, and then you can go home.
Which will be about 25 minutes from now, Jimmy. 25 minutes
Hopefully.
remaining.
Come on, Ollie.
Time.
He just was a little slow there. He's got to put more into it than that. You see, when that ball ran in front of him, he thought, oh, it'll be all right. Someone else will get it.
Yep.
Mind you, it is a big field, Jim. We should perhaps explain that there's just a push again. Ran into the player, wouldn't let him pass him. Obstruction or a push, whichever way the referee called it. One obstruction is indirect free kick, for which he'd put his hand in the air, and a push is a direct offence. And if it happens in the penalty area, as we all know, the referee gives a penalty, and sometimes when it doesn't happen.
Group sales and our season tickets. Well, you can call 544-KICK. If you have a group of 20 or more, or are interested in season tickets, call the number you see on your screen, 544-KICK, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Steve Sargent in for Khalil. Khalil trying to control and scores! Khalil gets the goal, and the Surf back in the game. It's 3-2. Well, there's the young man, captain of the Egyptian national team, and he's been red hot.
Well, we had a chance to tackle. Don Nardiello there turned and recovered, but that man was in space, nobody marking him. But the first tackle was won, but the ball just broke beautifully there to Khalil, the sort of break I was talking about off the crossbar. First tackle was a good one, But finally, Khalil is such a good player, you can't give him too many chances, and he gobbled that one up.
Well, that goal now by Hebert, standing ever so big, 3-2. Hebert with the difference right now, the goal he scored moments ago. Ball deflects out of bounds off Belfiore. Throw in California. Carlos Alberto coming up, getting into the attack. Alberto, beautiful ball to Khalil. Turning shot, missed near side. Now the confidence starting to build up within the surf.
Yeah.
Asamo Khalil. He came over last year to the North American Soccer League, played in Philadelphia, never really had much of an opportunity. Now with the surf, really has come on strong in the last couple of weeks.
I've seen the Egyptian team play on a number of occasions, and they really have a nice feeling for the game. They're very skillful. It's not easy, of course, to play in the sort of heat that they live in. They become sort of talented players with the ball, stroke it around. He's a bit unusual because he's got, you know, life and running power as well, which makes him capable of holding his place really here.
Nicholson took a good hit from behind. Long ball upfield, headed clear, then all the way back to the goalkeeper by Steve Sargent with plenty of confidence in his header. Now to Carlos Alberto. You can see how, you know, it's hard to believe how Back can control a game. If you take a player like Carlos Alberto, and he really can control not only defensively but offensively.
Yes. When the sweeper comes up as he does, it catches teams out because nobody's there to mark him. They've all got their own opponents they've been looking after, and if the player does have the courage to come up from the back like that, and the ability, it causes problems because he's an extra man, and it causes indecision. Right, let's see Ross get another goal to make it a double tonight.
Right side of the box. Jenkins trying to beat his man. Will he go to the end line and cross? He does. But waiting for it is Carlos Alberto. Calmly plays it to Steve Sargent. Back to Alberto. Good play. Good play by the defense by California.
I know that Johan sitting at home would feel that at this stage of the game we should get hold of the ball and just keep it and slow the game down so that you know, they get frozen out of the ball and they can't put the pressure on us. But I think that's one of the things that Johan will have to be on the field to make happen. I can almost hear him sort of saying it now, sitting there as he assuredly is at home, biting his fingernails maybe. That's what we should be doing at this phase of the game. Getting it, holding it, moving off the ball, just rolling it around and taking the venom and steam out of them, making them impatient so that they don't get enough of the ball, and when they do, their impatience will make moves break down.
Let's see what happens. McGill with the cross, but
he's carrying an injury tonight. Yeah, David would have got that ball 9 times out of 10, but a little worried about him. He had a thigh strain the other night, and he's had a quieter game, and I think that's the reason. There's Nardiello on the right wing, but he's chosen to hit it.
Bradford takes the shot, blocked. Oh, Bradford, instead of throwing it wide, decided I'm going to pop one right now. Quick counter now by the California Surf. Craig Allen showing good speed, but Hebert staying right with him. Hebert to the end line, across the end line, corner kick, California. Speaking of nail biting, Jimmy, you're chopping a few of your own here, aren't you?
Yes, I do. I still have nails. I just nibble at the edges, only when the diplomats are playing. So.
What is known as manager's nails, right? Chew to the marrow. Corner kick, California. Last time it ended in a shot off the crossbar. This time, still dangerous. Khalil chips it back to the middle. Craig Allen up for the jumper, and Hebert finally clears. Back in midfield, Carlos Alberto widens it far side. Craig Allen, near side, Nardiello racing after it, losing it, and across the end line, another corner kick. "20 minutes remaining regulation time." It's 3-2 Washington leading California. Vanderveen with the corner kick. Sam Oates moving right up into the middle of the fray. Goes to the far post. Header! Blocked, but a handball. No, the referee says no.
Well, that's an interesting one to look at again there, Jim Brown.
Indeed.
I don't think he got his hand to it, and it was a very good header on the far post.
I'm sure it was a handball, Jimmy. Look at
Yeah.
this. The defender standing right on the line. Watch it.
But it's this incident I'm looking at. What a good header.
That was the foul there. The player
Yeah.
jumping into Jim Brown.
It was handball on the line, as you see. Just
Peter
in the
Carr,
end of
yes.
the picture there, Peter Carr handled it off the line, but he gave a foul, and quite honestly, that was not a foul. It's as good a header as you'll ever see in your life. Clean, he jumped, timed it well, got it straight on the forehead, and you know, that should have been 3-3. But there you are. You get the break sometimes. Sometimes you don't.
I mean, even though he jumped into Jim Brown and knocked him out of the
he
play?
played the ball. He played the ball,
So
Jim.
that was a legitimate play.
Oh, absolutely. There's no rule in the game, no law against jumping and heading the ball. He didn't jump for an opponent, which would be a foul. He jumped for the ball and won it cleanly against the goalkeeper.
So it's still 3-2, thanks to the judgment of the referee.
Well, you may feel it strange that I'm so fierce about that point, you know, although it would have meant a goal against us. But the laws of the game are the laws of the game. You
Yes.
can't change them just for one team. That's offside, incidentally, and he's not giving it. Get out.
Also across the end line. All right.
It's very easy to be critical of officials, I'm afraid, but I have to say, having seen, I've seen 11 now. I think this is my 11th game. That the standard of refereeing and lining is not quite as good as the standard of soccer we're seeing.
3-2, Washington leading California. This is Washington Diplomats soccer. 3-2, Washington leading California. 17 minutes remaining regulation time. Throw in far side by the Surf. Carlos Alberto running throw in, gets it right to the hot box area and headed clear by Peter Carr. 6 stitches on his far header. Not he still heads the ball, and that must have hit right on the stitches too, Jimmy.
It must have hit one of them. There's so many of them.
Alberto turning it back into the attack area. This is Craig Allen. Stumbling. Van der Veen still manages to control. Now finally cleared, but again back to California. On the right flank, Charlie Cook just powers his way. Now the long cross. Nardiello should have control and clears to midfield and out of bounds. Throw in California, but the Surf on the attack. David Bradford trying to get control of his troops. Individual ticket sales like for the coming game Wednesday night with Johan Cruyff blank in the lineup. Call 350-2100. You have a group of 20 or more. Call that number 350-2100 for individual ticket sales. Monday through Friday 9 to 5. Come on out this coming Wednesday night. Toronto in town against the Washington Diplomats. David Bradford finally gets control at midfield. And running with the ball, as you said, Jimmy, just have to get control now, but then gave it away.
I'm afraid that wasn't an example of what I was saying. I'd like to see him play it and make the ball do the work, rather than waste all that energy carrying it and then push it into touch.
Moyers.
It's the rhythm that you get of controlling it and passing it and getting it away. Look at that.
Tied up ball game right there. Tied up. Van der Veen, a beautiful lob pass right to the hot box area and headed over the outstretched arm of Jim Brown, and the ball game is tied 3-3.
I'm afraid our wounds, Jim, are self-inflicted, because you saw the way that we gave the ball away originally, but there's the rhythm of it. Control it, let it go, let the ball move. And there's a player moving into position there to head it beautifully. He just got the height. Jim Brown was fractionally off the goal to lob it over the top. He nearly got a hand to it. But we really asked for that, the way we're playing. We're playing like, you know, I wasn't going to say school children, but young players. But that's not the way to play the game at this phase of it.
Sam Oates got the goal. Oates ties the game at 3-3 on a great assist by Van der Veen. Now Bradford looking to get the lead back. Trying to beat the man, couldn't do it. Oates broke it up. Midfield, Peter Carr. Carr drills a shot, a couple of bounces into the arms of Alan Mayer. 3-3 game.
You see examples there of players trying to do too much. David Bradford tried to do too much on the ball. Peter Carr tried to be a hero again and score from a long way up.
A yellow card.
Was that a yellow? He hadn't, not a red card. It was a yellow. I wasn't actually looking down in the field.
I think Hibbard may have gotten it, protesting the call.
No, it was a yellow card. He's still on the field. We've still got 11 players. But at this stage of the game, if you want to make the ball work, I've said that, use the phrase before, rather than doing heroics on it yourself, because energy needs to be conserved.
David McGill back playing his man correctly. Knocked it away out of bounds. Corner kick, California. 13.5 minutes remaining regulation time. A 3-1 lead by Washington has been taken away by California. It's tied 3-3. Another corner kick coming up for the California Surf. Camps, get your kicks. Learn soccer skills from the pros. Your diplomats. For further information, call 544-KICK. Corner kick wasted by California, as it'll be goal kick now for the Washington Diplomats. 3-3 soccer game, Washington and California. There are the dates on the Get Your Kicks. Soccer skills learned from the pros. The members of the Washington Diplomats. Jim Brown set to put the ball back in play with the goal kick. 13-13 remaining regulation time. At this point in the game, the next goal is going to win it. Although the way this game's going tonight, who's to say? Sam Oates, who got the tying goal a moment ago. California wide on the far side. Carlos Alberto moving up on the attack. Lots of open spaces for Carlos. You won't see him miss it that badly often.
No, that was an extraordinary example of not looking at the ball when you kicked it. He was looking to see it flash in the roof of the net, and you saw the result of that. But he really is a marvellous player, and he's been quite an influence on this game. As you say, he's gets up there as a spare man and dominates it from behind and from in front. He's still got plenty of energy. He's got all the ability that he needs, obviously, and a massive experience. Now, is Ollie going to win the game for California? If not for California. A local lad coming back home, it would be rather nice if he knocks the fourth goal and get him in more confident mood for the rest of the season.
All-American soccer player nearby UCLA, and now back in pro soccer with the Washington Diplomats, Ole Mikkelsen. David McGill has the ball to Nardiello. Nardiello to McGill, back to Nardiello, deflected away just in time by Craven. Now Moyers, All-American himself, bringing the ball back for the California Surf. Steve Moyers from Madison College in Virginia, and many Madison College alumni may be watching the game tonight in Washington, the Washington area. Moyers in the middle for Allen. Or that's Steve Ryan, rather. Steve Ryan for the California Surf. So 2 substitutions have been made now by the Surf. Nardiello breaking it back for Washington. Nardiello forcing the defense into the hot box area. Tried to slip it through for Mikkelsen, but couldn't thread it through 2 of the Surf defenders. Counter attack by Charlie Cook. From Vanderveen. Vanderveen dumps it to the end line for Cook. Cook in the dangerous hot box area. Turns it far side over the head, but following up is Moyers. Moyers trying to turn it to the end line, but Heinz Wirtz takes it back for the Washington Diplomats. Mikkelsen. Nice pass if it gets through to Nardiello. Beautiful tackle by Sargent. Perfectly timed. Out of bounds. Midfield throw in California. Well, the fans coming to life now, and that can make a difference too, can it not, Jimmy?
Yes, it can. Not a lot of them, but goal kick, which will be useful because at this stage of the game, with just 9:56 left, I don't feel I want to see too many corner kicks against the Diplomats, because we don't appear to be the best in the world at keeping the ball out of the net from those positions. Much happier when we're attacking like this and keeping them away from our goal.
Nardiello.
David Bradford, a good target in the middle, but he's chosen just to kick it anywhere. Don's had a poor finish to the game. He does lack concentration at times, I'm afraid, and you know, the last twice he's put people in trouble from good positions, and it could cost us the game maybe. Stay there, Jim, well done.
Beautiful save.
Fantastic goalkeeping.
Beautiful save.
You see, that was as a result of just aimlessly throwing the ball away there in an attacking position when lots of players had run up to support, and they all got caught out because the ball was thrown away casually and needlessly.
Throw in, far side, California. Greg Allen. Allen trying to turn by Belfiore. Belfiore deflected it across the end line. Corner kick, California. 3-3, the game is tied after Washington had a 3-1 lead. Dangerous, but had it clear by Jenkins. And across this touchline, it'll be a throw-in, near sideline. That's Khalil. Khalil waiting for the return. Charlie Cook may like to go to the end line, look for a cross. Cook niftily slips it through for Khalil, kicked across the end line, another corner for California. Waldron, Jenkins, and Hebard scoring for Washington. Alberto, Oates, and I forget who scored the other goal for California. It's 3-3, California and Washington. Khalil got the other goal. Here's a shot from far out, blocked, loose ball, Jim Brown out of position, but the shot wasted. Oh, ever so close, ever so close.
We are providing example at the moment of how not to play the game, but having won that ball back, it was still lost, and he just couldn't screw it round because Jim Brown was lying there snapping at his feet.
Jim Brown unloads to midfield, but California controls. Knocked it across the touchline. It'll be Washington throw-in. Carlos Alberto anticipating, moves up, knocked it away. Now the ball upfield. Back to the goalkeeper, Alan Mayer.
I wonder if he wears that helmet for protection, or is it so that he can't hear something that his teammates say when he might make a mistake?
I think if he makes a mistake bad enough, he's going to hear it. Steve Moyers, beautiful flick-on pass, and the shot wide of the net. Jim Brown's feeling like a shooting duck in the gallery right now.
Good tackle there. That was a corner. Belfiore just got his foot through to it, and it was a good sliding tackle. Got a touch of the ball, although you're right, the referee, well, either you and the referee are right and I'm wrong, or vice versa, Jim.
Still a good tackle.
It was a good tackle. Well, there's a substitution coming up now. Clive Haywood's coming on for the Diplomats, and who's that going off? Don Nardiello.
Nardiello.
Don does a lot of running in the game, and I think it, you know, the last 20 minutes or so in this 80-degree temperature, I think a little of the steam goes out of him. And so we have Clive Haywood, who used to play in the same team as Don Nardiello, Coventry City. He's a young player, played a couple of first division games in the league, only 20 years of age, but could be very promising. Another one who needs a little bit of confidence. Maybe it's his turn to score the goal, the confidence bringing goal.
Charlie Cook for California. For Moyer. Moyer with the cross, blocked across the end line by Bertz. Another corner for the Surf.
And the clock says 6:12. 6 minutes, 12 seconds left.
And the Surf have the tide coming in right now, Jimmy.
They certainly do.
Diplomats trying to hang tough. Here's the corner to the far post. Khalil up in the air, but heads it wide of the post. It'll be goal kick, Washington. 5:50 remaining regulation time. 3-3, the game tied. Looking for a game winner right now. Well, let's see, Jimmy, if the Diplomats can settle down and get one more good attack underway. Mickelson ducks under that one, comes through for David Bradford. Bradford turns it to the goal mouth. Easy save for Alan Mayer.
See, Willie Kiefer has come on there as well. 2 substitutions.
Okay.
Malcolm Hebbard still there. Peter Carr. Who would have come off? Oh, Ross Jenkins. So he's brought on Willie Kiefer and Clive Haywood for Ross Jenkins and Don Nardiello. For 5 minutes left. That's the only time they've got left in which to turn the game, unless they have to do it in overtime.
Alberto broke it away from Wirtz. Alberto has it for the California Surf. Beautiful turn-through pass for Vanderveen, but covering him perfectly was Waldron. But the Surf knock on the door again. Alberto playing the quarterback on the top. Now to Khalil. Khalil, a heel pass to Moyers.
Oh.
Mickelson missed on that clearing pass. Comes to the far side across. Oh, missing the open side was Ryan, or Greg Allen rather. It'll be goal kick, Washington. And that was the game winner right there. They had it, Jimmy.
Yes, it was, and it was self-induced as well. Ollie Mickelson could have cleared the ball, got to it first, and in the excitement, he just did nothing, just collapsed on it. And if you give presents to the enemy, they're very liable to accept them.
Jim Brown puts it up to midfield with 4:10 remaining. McGill. Bradford, ball back in and bouncing around, still bouncing around, and then the half volley spins wide of the net by John Craven. Goal kick, Washington.
His left foot was never the strongest, Jim, and he proved it there.
3 minutes remaining, first half of overtime. Only 1 ball in play, please. We have enough problems with 1, yet alone the 2. Jim Brown skies it to midfield. A little pushing there, but the referee's going to let it play on. Waldron turns it back to Jim Brown.
He's a good example, Malcolm Waldron, of a player who does the simple thing. You see there, just calmed the play down, gave it back to the keeper, didn't get excited. Defenders are there to destroy the excitement, not to create it.
I like that. I like that.
Well, they're meant to be.
Bradford.
Now play it, David. Not quite on his game with his passing, but he's bounced back to us. See, that's the time to play, but he's...
Sam Oates broke the ball back for California to Alberto. Vanderveen. Long turning pass. Hebert, or rather Malcolm Waldron, just nods it aside. Again, up on the left flank, way out of reach for Haywood. It'll be throw-in, California. 1:45 remaining, first half of overtime. Now Alberto. Alberto to Khalil. Khalil just tried to kind of heel it behind him right into the, looking for a garbage goal there from somebody.
Well, it ended up with Heinz Wirtz getting it over the top for us, and another one of those corners. I wonder what the number's going to be at the end of the day. It's certainly quite a few corner kicks.
1:15 remaining, first half of overtime. Game tied 3-3. Going to the far post. Headed right left side of the post. Jim Brown knocked it down before it crossed the end line. Gives it to Trevor Franklin. Franklin dribbling the ball through midfield. This is Haywood dribbling a shot wide of the net. Kiefer, was it?
Yeah, Kiefer. Willie running with it, hitting it on his right foot, but other players are calling for it. You see, they're trying to do it individually as against a team. And it may work. Somebody may pull off a surprise and do a spectacular move.
Obstruction there. Free kick, California, taken quickly by Sam Oates to Craig Allen. Allen to Khalil. Khalil turns it in the middle, but cleared out.
Now Haywood's got the ball in his own.
Clive Haywood Looking for help, going to the far post. Kiefer just couldn't quite time it as Alan Mayer came off the line to grab it off. Belfiore for Washington. As the first half of overtime comes to an end, we go to the second half of overtime. Still tied, of course, at 3-3. California, they'll just revert sides now, and California will take the center half kick. This coming Wednesday night, back home against Toronto, and more these games are becoming ever so important. Toronto, Montreal in the same division as Washington, and really pivotal games.
Well, Wednesday night's important for a lot of reasons, because Johan Cruyff is coming back, and I'd like it to be a real Washington welcome for him, to make him feel that he's valued in the city, and I'd like to see a bumper crowd come out and make it an occasion and give it a sense of occasion, because I'm sure that will help him provide the inspiration that the team's looking for. And I think tonight's an example. You can feel what a difference such a player could make in the center of our team, to calm them down, stop them making the simple mistakes that at times they do through inexperience, times through nervousness. And that showed Hans' value. As Benny Douglas said at half-time, never mind the newspaper nonsense and things about how we all don't want Cruyff. Any player who knows what the game is about would love to play with Cruyff on his side.
Let's hope we have some decent weather, too, Jimmy, Wednesday night.
Yes, I'm sure it's got a turn for us. Now, that's the ball I was talking about.
Yes.
And let it go again. 2 passes early, rhythm coming back.
This is Kiefer. Haywood running for the box.
Oh, that's a bad cross. Wasted cross. We've had 2 or 3 of them straight into the keeper's hands, and you cannot produce goals from that. The skills are not good enough there, and the players would know that they can do better with those.
Well, let's see what California does on their attack. Not much different. Ball cleared by Trevor Franklin in midfield. Willie Kiefer giving chase. But there is John Crayman turning it back to Alan Mayer. I don't know what California's success is in a shootout. I don't know if they are hoping their chances are better to win it right now or to hold on for the shootout. Carlos Alberto flicks it on the right side for Ryan. Ryan wide open. Here's Charlie Cook. Chipped it and missed. Oh, Cook had it. Cook had it, Jimmy.
It was a good through run. You see, he ran, wasn't picked up by the defender, found the space in the penalty area. But even an experienced player like Charlie just got that little bit excited at that time and missed the target. Again, I know you can't understand how such a big target can be missed, but you think that the goalkeeper comes out, narrows the angle. So if you actually were in that position yourself, you'd find there's very little of the goal open to be shot at. It's no use hitting the center because you're going to hit the keeper.
I was going to mention Jimmy Brown really didn't give him much. I know he looked up and waited to see if Brown was going to make his move, and Brown stood tall.
That's right.
So here's another through ball. Cook. This time it's Belfiore across the end line. I think they may have called the play offside, or they're going to give a corner.
Corner.
There will be a corner.
They're appealing for a penalty, but Charlie played the ball against him. And when the ball plays the player, it's not handball. Handball has to be intentional.
Charlie Cook, corner kick. Outswinger. Headed clear. And Kiefer with the ball. Winds it left side for Trevor Franklin. Franklin right in the middle, and he checked that one badly. That was out of bounds. 2-shot penalty and tee it up again.
I saw Ken Furphy out with coaching them in the week, and exactly those positions with Trevor Franklin. Running in, make sure you strike it well, make sure you hit the target. Get out there on the field in the game with the excitement where it would really count, and all the teaching in the world counts for nothing.
4 minutes remaining in overtime. Heinz Wirtz heading the ball midfield. Kiefer, right? Behind Bradford. Bradford spun off the ball by Charlie Cook, but backed by Kiefer. Left side for Trevor Franklin. Franklin chips it to the far side. Volley shot wide. It'll be goal kick, California. Carlos Alberto for the California serve. Carlos will take as much room as is given him, and so far they've given him half the farm. Now to Charlie Cook in the right 40. Charlie Cook turns it inside for Moyer. Moyer's header as he collided with the defender, and it's cleared by Hebert out of bounds. It'll be throw in California. 3 minutes remaining. Overtime. Alberto flings the ball into the hot box area, bouncing around, clear it, and it is run out by David McGill. Willie Kiefer, long ball upfield for Clyde Haywood. Haywood turns it nicely far side. Trevor Franklin trying to take it to the end line. Played it too far ahead of him, and it's back to California. Greg Allen through midfield left side. Greg Allen still moving with it. Heel pass now for Sam Oates. In for Moyers. Cleared out by Washington. 2 minutes remaining. Overtime. Now let's see if Washington can go. They got a 4-on-4. Striking the ball from far out. Goal kick, California.
Malcolm Warden coming up to try and get that powerful shot in there, but the ball didn't bounce kindly for him. But you were saying, Jim, about do they want to play for the shootout? Well, both teams would love to get a goal and have no shootout, because you lose 2 points. Once it gets into shootout time, the most you can get is 4.
Right.
Whereas a goal here will produce 6 points for one team. So the longer you play, this is one of the things that I think is a bit strange about it. The longer you play, the harder you work, the less points are becoming available for you. So you're providing more entertainment for the crowd, but less points.
Corner kick, header across the goal mouth, but cleared by Washington. All right, here's a break. Can Kiefer go with it? That good sliding tackle. And it's cleared all the way back to the goalkeeper, Alan Mayer.
It was just within a half an inch there of Willie getting that ball, but you know, he did well to get so far. But I must say, what's happened there? Somebody's been kicked. Somebody's been laid out there on the floor.
Khalil, yes,
it's Khalil.
California coming again. Trying to place it for Charlie Cook. David McGill knocked it down. Moved it to midfield, but Alberto has it back. 45 seconds remaining in overtime. Alberto again for California. Khalil still down on the ground. Now to Charlie Cook. Cook turns it to the hot box. Oh, what a save by Jim Brown!
That was spectacular. That was spectacular. A good shot, too. Well, brilliant. Good volley.
Moyers with a brilliant volley, and Jim Brown. What a save. Now, well, that's the time to come back and win a game, Jimmy.
21 seconds they've got to do it, or the shootout. So there it is. Clive Haywood on the ball, the last attack. Diplomat still in possession. Heinz Wirtz there.
Wirtz. Whistle!
Oh! Heinz Wirtz has won the game.
Heinz Wirtz.
3 seconds left.
With 3 seconds remaining in overtime.
The luck has turned, Jim.
And the save by Jim Brown. Did we say that's the kind of...